the working class of non-industrialized economies or in the rural workforce. As with many terms describing social class, working class is defined and used in many different ways. The most general definition, used by many socialists, is that the working class includes all those who have nothing to sell but their labor. These people used to be referred to as the proletariat, but that definition has gone out of fashion. In that sense, the working class today includes both white and blue-collar workers, manual and mental workers of all types, excluding only individuals who derive their livelihood from business ownership and the labor of others. The term, which is primarily used to evoke images of laborers suffering class disadvantage in spite of their individual effort, can also have racial connotations. These racial connotations imply diverse themes of poverty that imply whether one is deserving of aid. When used non-academically in the United States, however, it often refers to a section of society dependent on physical labor, especially when compensated with an hourly wage. For example, the working class is loosely defined as those without college degrees. Working class occupations are then categorized into 4 groups: unskilled laborers, artisans, outworkers, and factory workers. A common alternative, sometimes used in sociology, is to define class by income levels. When this approach is used, the working class can be contrasted with a so-called middle class on the basis of differential terms of access to economic resources, education, cultural interests, and other goods and services. The cutoff between working class and middle class here might mean the line where a population has discretionary income, rather than finances for basic needs and essentials. Some researchers have suggested that working class status should be defined subjectively as self-identification with the working class group. This subjective approach allows people, rather than researchers, to define their own subjective and perceived social class. In feudal Europe, the working class as such did not exist in large numbers. Instead, most people were part of the laboring class, a group made up of different professions, trades and occupations. A lawyer, craftsman and peasant were all considered to be part of the same social unit. A third estate of people who were neither aristocrats nor church officials. Similar hierarchies existed outside Europe in other pre-industrial societies. The social position of these laboring classes was viewed as ordained by natural law and common religious belief. This social position was contested, particularly by peasants, for example during the German Peasants' War. In the late 18th century, under the influence of the Enlightenment, European society was in a state of change, and this change could not be reconciled with the idea of a changeless God-created social order. Wealthy members of these societies created ideologies which blamed many of the problems of working class people on their morals and ethics. In The Making of the English Working Class, E. P. Thompson argues that the English working class was present at its own creation, and seeks to describe the transformation of pre-modern laboring classes into a modern, politically self-conscious, working class. Starting around 1917, a number of countries became ruled ostensibly in the interests of the working class. Other states of this sort have collapsed. Since 1960, large-scale proletarianization and enclosure of commons has occurred in the Third World, generating new working classes. Additionally, countries such as India have been slowly undergoing social change, expanding the size of the urban working class. Karl Marx defined the working class or proletariat as individuals who sell their labor power for wages and who do not own the means of production. He argued that they were responsible for creating the wealth of a society. He asserted that the working class physically build bridges, craft furniture, grow food, and nurse children, but do not own land or factories. A subsection of the proletariat, the lumpenproletariat, are the extremely poor and unemployed, such as day laborers and homeless people. Marx considered them to be devoid of class consciousness. In the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels argued that it was the destiny of the working class to displace the capitalist system with the dictatorship of the proletariat. abolishing the social relationships underpinning the class system and then developing into a future communist society in which the free development of each is the condition for the free development of all. In general, in Marxist terms, wage laborers and those dependent on the welfare state are working class, and those who live on accumulated capital are not. This broad dichotomy defines the class struggle. Different groups and individuals may at any given time be on one side or the other. Such